Hi guys, so the day has come, the fig tree is coming down. We've got a little break from the heat wave. We're currently at like 68, 69 degrees. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. So we decided, we've got a few days of 80-degree weather, mild humidity before the 95 degrees and 90% humidity comes back. So we figured this would be the perfect time to tackle this job. It's a big job, and so that's why we're doing it now. The weather is cooler. I can tolerate it because I don't know if you guys garden where it's humid, but even if it's 80 degrees outside, when you're dealing with like 75, 80% humidity or higher, it feels like you're in a sauna. So to have this little break right now is perfect. So for those of you that don't know, we've treated the fig tree for Phytothera. It is a soil-borne fungus. It's basically a root rot. And what had happened was when we did the retaining wall, there was so much movement with all of the soil over there that I had an arborist come out and check it. He thinks that the crown or the crown of the tree may have sank a few inches, and that's kind of sort of what started this whole decline of the tree, because on top of the Phytothera, we had a little infestation of bark beetles, and they actually bore through the bark and went into one of the main trunks, which I cut out. And then we also dealt with canker. So I was looking at it the other day. Mo and I came out here the other night and we were looking at it, and I noticed that the main trunks in the center of the tree, they're not that normal brownish barky color. They're starting to get that grayish silver color. And when I touched a few areas where we had cut off some smaller branches, they kind of just completely disintegrated. So this whole tree is suffering. We've treated it with a systemic fungicide. The thing is with Phytothera, it doesn't ever go away. You can maintain it, but you can't really get rid of it. And if this was an ornamental tree, I would most likely keep it and treat it. But because of the fact that this is a fruit-bearing tree and I love figs, it's kind of like torture to kind of see your tree producing figs and you're not able to eat them. Not to mention the fact that we have birds that are nesting, or they come in and they seek shelter there, but they also go after the figs too. And I don't want them to eat it too, because the fruit is contaminated with the systemic fungicide. So if we can't eat them, most certainly the birds can't eat them. So I don't really want to mess with harming any wildlife. If this was ornamental, I probably would leave it, but because it's fruit bearing and we can't eat the fruit, we're getting rid of it. Plus, it's also, I think, going to help my onions, because let me show you what's going on. My onion bed is struggling. Some of them I've lost and some of them are hanging on. So I'm hoping if we remove this whole tree, we're gonna let a lot more light in. So here's the fig tree, this big, huge, massive tree, which is going all the way up to the roof. And then right below it, we've got our raised bed vegetable garden. Sweet potatoes, carrots, and onions. The sweet potatoes and the carrots are doing fine, but the onions are struggling. They're looking pretty sparse. Some of them have drooped over and flopped over. I've actually lost quite a few right in this area, which is a little disappointing. But the reason, here's what I think is going on. The tree is blocking the sun. These are not getting enough sun. They're definitely getting enough water, but they're not getting enough sun. So I'm hoping by removing this, we're going to expose... Fast and Furious going on over here. So I'm hoping by removing this whole tree, we're going to let a lot of the afternoon sun come through, and it's going to help the onions, because this is the east side of the house. You can see the sun coming up over here, and then it gradually just goes over to the west, which is right where the fig tree is. So you can even tell too that a lot of the grass is not getting light, so it's all dying here too. So we're going to get rid of all of this. We're going to try and get the root ball out. Mo's going to come out and help me, and then we're just going to fill it back up. And I think I picked up some flower seeds. I'm just going to sprinkle them there, and we'll have this year, we'll have a little wildflower patch going on over here. But let me show you some of the issues that I'm seeing right now. So if we go through, you can see a lot of where these cuts were. These are like opening sores, and look at first off, let's take a look at the color of the bark. It's a grayish white compared to the new growth that's coming out, which is a healthier dark brown. This is what this should look like, but clearly something's going on with it. And I can even tell the bark feels a little bit soft, but these were literally disintegrating yesterday when I was checking them. So it's time. And we've also got, it's already started bearing fruit. Let me see if I can find some, oh, here we go. So it's already started bearing fruit. And another reason again why I want to get rid of this too is these are contaminated with the fungicide, the systemic fungicide, so I don't want the birds to get them. And I'm really kind of sad. I don't really want to see this tree go, but if it's sick, it's got to go. I mean, you can look at that. There's just sores and cracks all over the area. And look at this. This is a perfect example. This is like grayish white, dark brown. And this used to be like this, so I don't know. And we can go in even a little bit closer and you can see what's going on towards the crown of the tree. The discoloration, it's just struggling. This is where I cut one of the main trunks because we had bark beetle damage. I'll put up a picture too and show you, but it was a huge open wound. And that's what started this whole thing. I came out here one day last winter and I noticed a huge open wound on one of the main trunks. So I called our arborist and had him come out here. And that's how we discovered that there was bark beetle damage. They had bored through the bark and into the wood. He noticed a canker right above it on two of the main branches. And then he discovered the root rot. So definitely keep an eye on your plants and your trees, not just during the growing season, but throughout the winter time too, because a lot can happen even when they're dormant. Anyways, so I think we're just gonna go after this and get it done before the sun comes and heats us all up. Also, if we have time, we're gonna try and set up a trellising system for these sweet potato vines because they're really starting to spread out and I wanna get them growing vertically. Mo's out here, he's gonna help me. I'm gonna do the smaller branches and he's gonna go after the larger trunks. All right guys, here's what we're gonna be using today. Mo brought out the pickaxe, handsaw, chainsaw, and we've got our battery powered pruners, which are awesome, but a little scary too. Check this out. All right guys, so I'm gonna show you real quick how these work because these are fun, but they're also very dangerous. So we've got our little,
Safety.
Thank you. We've got our safety here and this is the trigger. You can see the blade. That is pretty intense. That will definitely cut a finger. So keep your hands away from this at all times. So we're gonna go right in here. This branch is about a ½ an inch. I'm just gonna go right in here and show you guys and just press the trigger. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so now we are just going to tear this thing down. Here we go. I guess I should get in here more. These I could probably do with my pruners, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, but these are more fun.
I know. Look at that. Here, bring the camera in closer for a minute. Look at that. You can see the discoloration going on over here. Again, you can see the bark down here. It's a silvery gray. It's a very dull gray. There is life in these branches, but the overall health of this tree is just not worth keeping, unfortunately. And it breaks my heart because I love this fig tree. We've had fig trees on this property since I was a kid. My dad had them and we'll have them again. Don't worry. All right. Oh, you know what else? The hydrangeas out front, they're gonna love it too, because they've been getting a little shaded, which is why I think, Mo, if you back up for a second,
That's what I'm doing.
look at the hydrangeas over there, and as we go down, these hydrangeas down here, this one is smaller in height, just a little bit, but it's getting shaded out by the fig tree. So I think this whole thing, this whole bed, and the vegetable garden is really gonna benefit. Oh, I'm gonna miss this tree. Another thing too, be careful of the milk that comes out of these live branches. It is a skin irritant and it will definitely make you itch.
What happens if you would eat one of these?
The fig leaves? Or the figs?
Both.
I don't think the figs would taste very good. Kind of makes it so much easier.
Aren't you happy I bought this?
Yes. Ooh. All right guys, check this out. Look how easy this makes it. Gotta love it. All right, let's get this cleaned up. Oh no. I got some of that milk on me. Wow. Come over here. Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at all the space we have.
I know. Look at that. And it's like halfway done.
End of an era. But you're in for a new one.
I know. It's really just the amount of time put into growing this thing. I mean, that's like 10, 15 years worth of growth. You want to do some?
You can do whatever you want.
This is fun. What an excellent way to get out your aggressions with a power tool.
Love it how you're having so much fun with it.
It's fun. It's a lot funner. Wait, hi. Funner. Is it funner? Is that a word? No, that's not a word. It's a lot more fun with the humidity at a tolerable level. We're only at like 48% humidity as opposed to the 90% sauna that we've been baking under. Otherwise, I'd look like a wet rat. Oh, hydrangea, you can breathe. It's gonna look so weird. You know what Paul said when I told him we were taking down the tree? He's like, I mean, it's kind of like an ugly tree anyways.
These trees are all right.
I'm like, well, it's not in the spot that it should be. You know, it's right up, it's so close to the house. It really needs to be out in the open, so because they like to do that very like round vase kind of a shape. And it's not able to do that here. Progress update. Here's what's left. Just the main chunks. This looks just like when I rejuvenate pruned it and just hacked it off completely, but dang, look at all of this. Foliage as far as the eye can see. But wow, oh my God, Mo, look at this. Look how much it opens this whole area up. All right, that was fun. That was actually a lot more fun than I was expecting. I'm a little sweaty, I'm glistening a little bit. Now Mo is gonna take after the rest of the tree with the chainsaw. Look how much more light that brings in. Oh my gosh.
Look at the hydrangeas.
I can see the hydrangeas now too from this side. Look at that. Mo's tightening up the chain on the chainsaw, so we're just gonna take another quick look at this area. Wow. You can see the side of the house. The hydrangeas are getting their late morning sun. They're gonna love it. Look how beautiful they are. Look at them. So pretty. Look at that. Zinnias are filling in nicely. I just can't get over this. That's crazy how it's almost all gone. It's just a bunch of stumps that you can see. You can see the roots were starting to girdle too. It's coming around and starting to wrap around, eventually choking itself out. There's another one. thing is massive. Can you pick it up?
All of them are going sideways. There's nothing going down.
Mm-hmm. They're not a very deep-rooted tree. They're more surface and shallow-rooted. They just go along the surface in search of water.
Is that rot in there?
I think part of it may be. All right, guys, it is the next morning. We ended up taking a little break and talking with our neighbors. Then we went back to trying to get the root ball out. And let me tell you, that root ball was so rooted in. Now, fig trees don't have a very super deep root system. They're more shallow and they send their roots out more along the surface in a spreading fashion, so in search of water. But oh my goodness, these roots were everywhere. They went under the concrete slab by the gate. They were all over. So it took us a lot longer to cut through all those roots and finally dig out that root ball. I ended up having to go inside because I ended up with a little injury. So you can see there's my wound, my battle scar. I was using the pickaxe to get through some of the root system and I had my hands around the handle, and as I came down into the ground, my knuckle got stuck between the handle and one of the trunks. So it kind of was like a finger in a car door. And let me tell you guys, I saw stars, but I instantly ran inside, put it on ice, and that was pretty much it for me for the rest of the day. So Mo is the one that actually came back out here after tending to me. Thank you, Mo. Mo is the one that came back out here and got the entire root ball out, and it took him probably the better part of a couple hours to do it. So by that point, you know, we were both so tired. The sun was in full force. It was mid-afternoon, and that area gets full sun now, especially without that tree there. It gets full sun. So we decided to just call it for the day. We were both so tired, so hot, and our cameras were overheating. So hopefully, like at the end of this video, it's not just scattered all over the place. But anyways, so now we are going to, it's early morning, we are coming out here now and we're going to put up a couple of trellises for the sweet potato vines. Just a couple of green garden stakes in the beds with a piece of ranch panel in between, because I need something for the sweet potato vine to climb up on, because they're starting to just sprawl along the bed and into the grass. And sweet potato vine, if some of those nodes make contact with the soil, they'll root in again. So, and they're already starting to do that. So we're just gonna go right into trellising. So we're gonna be using 4 6-foot garden stakes. We've got our mallet here. Here's our ranch panel. This is 4 feet high. And this is our sweet potato bed. I've got 3 rows of sweet potatoes, and you can see they're starting to vine. So we're gonna put 1 trellising system here and 1 right here. We'll put in our garden stakes, 2 on each end, and then we'll just attach a row of ranch panel in between the front and the back and just weave our sweet potato vines through, and then they can just climb upwards vertically instead of sprawling all over and into the grass, because this is what they like to do when they hit soil. They've got nodes on the back of the vines right here, and once they hit soil, they'll root in. You can see this one did too. Once we get done with the trellises, we're gonna head back over to where the fig tree was, and we're going to seed it with a whole bunch of flowers. All right, guys, here we go. So you just use those extra pieces of metal to...
We made a little roof.
No, you forgot this one. Can't do it.
Working hands.
I like it. Because now when they climb up, they'll just go over. Look at this. Doesn't this area look so much different? Look how much more light comes through here. Oh my gosh, that looks so weird. So let's start with our sweet potato bed over here because this is where we put up our trellising system. We took 2 6-foot garden posts and plunked them right in directly into the bed. And then Mo decided it would be good to have a center support post right in here. So we took a 4-foot post and Mo wove it in between each panel, and then we got it in the ground. And then we came in with zip ties and just zip tied each end of the ranch panels to the posts. And then I came in and just wove. I took the sweet potato vines and just started weaving them through. And so hopefully they will continue to grow up, 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 and then all the way over. We had an extra piece of the ranch panel. Mo decided he would put a little roof on this. So as both sides grow, if they grow this high, they'll have a place to rest and spill over. It looks really good. Really happy with this. And it's not super, super sturdy, but it is sturdy enough for this season. And then next season we'll probably come in with something different or maybe the same thing, who knows. But I just wanted to get the sweet potato vines up off the ground because they were spilling over into the lawn, and I really didn't want them to start rooting in there because you can see once these little nodes hit the soil, they'll start sprouting roots. So now we have this whole area over here, and you guys, I came out here last night and took a little bit of video around 5, 6 o'clock. This area was getting full sun again. No block from the fig tree. So I'm hoping, carrots are looking good. We're probably gonna have to come in and harvest them in the next couple days, or at least half of them, because I do want to plant some other stuff in here. But hopefully the onions will spring back up into life because, like I said, they were looking pretty shabby. So we'll give these a few weeks, and if not, we could just pull them and plant something else. And here is where the fig tree was. Isn't that crazy? You can see the limelight over there, and there's just so much more. There's just so much more light. We need to come in and clean off the side of the house. Oof. Actually, I know in other videos too, we know we're gonna be pressure washing the whole house because it definitely needs it. But so after we took down all the limbs, we spent a good 2-3 hours trying to get the root ball out, and it took forever. But Mo was finally able to get it out. He leveled all of the soil. We came in with a few more bags of topsoil, watered it in, leveled it all in. It's all nice and settled. So now we just have one more thing to do. We're gonna seed that area with a bunch of flowers. I've got 3 different varieties of flowers. I've got an old-fashioned garden mix. This is 25 days to bloom. We've got the Envy zinnias, which are a beautiful lime green. These are 35 days to bloom. And then we've got a variety pack, a multicolor variety pack of snapdragons. These are 55 days to bloom. So between all of these different bloom cycles, we're gonna have a continuous show of blooms. I've got my little jar here. I'm gonna put all the seeds in here, give it a nice shake, and then we're just gonna spread them all throughout where the fig tree was. Okay, we've got all the seeds literally tossed in, watered in, and whatever comes up, comes up. I think this area is just going to look so pretty. And you can see we did put in a couple of garden stakes over here too, with a little bit of netting. This is just temporary to keep Shuey out until whatever germinates, germinates. So excited to see what comes up because I put 5 packs of seeds in that little 10 by 5 foot area. So I think it's going to be really pretty. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I will admit I was a little anxious getting that fig tree taken out, but I knew it needed to come out. And after seeing the root ball and seeing the roots, some of those roots were literally just breaking off and dissolving as we were pulling them out, which kind of makes me wonder, like, why didn't that root ball come out easier? But it's out, it's done. I miss it, but that just leaves me with an area over there to think about and plan for next season. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.